before we start, how are you? How are you doing?
I am okay. I'm tired as hell, but I'm doing okay. How are you?
Life of as the stress of juggling work and school.
It really
Stronger,
is.
stronger person than I.
It really is. Like, it's exhausting. I don't know who sent me. I don't know why I decided I wanted to be an overachiever, but I'm paying for it, so that's good. Pat on my
Yeah,
back.
but like, it's 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 who you are. You're an overachiever. This is who you are. You aim for those big
I
things,
can't even deny it.
like the rest of us. That's why you're the best of us. We all strive to be like you.
You know what? Yes, it is in fact true. You all do strive to be like me. I
Yeah.
have to keep it up. I need to keep being a great role model and pave the way. So
Yeah, part of me doesn't even want to put this in the podcast because I don't want to break the facade. But also, I want people to know that, like, even the stars, they're just like us. Like,
right? I'm just like
even those
you.
people. Yeah, so I'll just, yeah. You also go through, like, stress, but it's just like you come out looking more glamorous than the rest of
Yeah, you
us.
just gotta take it on. It's part of life. Keep going.
Yeah, speaking of glamour, do you want to talk about White
What?
Lotus? Are you ready to begin?
Yes, let's get into it.
Hello and welcome back to the Popcorn for Dinner podcast, the podcast where all the little turkeys want to be roosters. I'm Bamford Mokwede, and today we are discussing fraying friendships and secretive spouses on the third episode of White Lotus Season 3. And joining me once again, she's so gentle, but also firm. It's Lolade. How you doing?
Yeah. Do you know what's crazy? I love that that's how you did the intro for me, because I was going to say I feel like my clients and my coworkers would describe me the other way, like the other way around.
What are you firm?
Firm but gentle. Yeah,
Which would you rather be?
that's me. Like gentle or firm?
No, gentle but firm, or firm but gentle. Which would you rather
Firm,
you rather do?
firm but gentle.
That's, I can see
Like
that. Yeah,
in the workplace, yeah.
true.
Because I have to be firm and I have to come in and say, like, you need to respect me
And then you being gentle is
first.
just like an advantage that other people might not have. Yeah, that's actually smart. Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Exactly.
I think. Yeah, so you are just, so basically you're saying that you are overachieving at work as well. Like everything is just going up. Everything is going the
Yeah,
way Lolade wants. That's cool. Must
it is. It
must be
is.
nice. Um, if you're listening, this is your first time listening to this podcast. Thank you. We hope you stay. We hope you enjoy the episode. We're covering White Lotus all season, so please stick around. We've covered episodes 1 and 2 already. We're also covering Invincible, Yellow Jacket, Severance, all on this feed. So please just check, or you need to scroll down and you see the episodes. So please listen to those. Subscribe and like if you're watching on YouTube, and rate and review if you're listening on a podcast platform. Let's just go straight into the episode. White Lotus. Let's not keep them
Yeah.
waiting too long. This episode is titled The Meaning of Dreams, as with every other episode is written and directed by Mike White. We're 3 episodes in. You weren't here last week. It's still kind of like, it's not, temperature is not the right term, but it's now kind of like giving more context to like what these characters are going to go on without having any big dramatic moments yet, save for
Yeah.
it seems like Chelsea's just having all the dramatic moments to herself. But what do you think of the season so far? What are your thoughts on this show so far?
So far, so
Mm.
good. So far, so good. I'm enjoying it. Again, like the stories, the characters. I love how it's developing, like individually on their own or like with the groups that they came with, but also like interacting with the other groups.
Mhm.
I'm enjoying it so far. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I think I want to start the way the show started, which is with the Ratliff family. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be fair, when the episode started, I'm like, okay, we're finally getting the like Parker Posey episode. It didn't turn out to be that, obviously, but I do think
Mm-hmm.
it's still kind of, what did you make of a nightmare? I think it's kind of giving us a peek into like maybe her psyche and that storyline.
Yeah. Definitely the dream, like dreams have meanings. I agree with Piper. Like dreams definitely do have meanings. And again, like you said, it is giving us a look into, like, her mental health because why is she walking into the tsunami?
Yeah.
It's like I yeah. I think it was really good, and then we get to see that, Lucky
Mhm.
was actually talking about, like, tsunamis and, like, people dying, and she says that's what gave her the nightmare. But,
Well, to be
I don't know.
fair, the night before this, most people would have caught this, but the night before, Lachlan was talking about a tsunami. So at the end of the episode, when they're going
Mhm.
back into their cabin or whatever, when their dad looks
Yeah.
at them from afar, you can hear him talking about like his child that went through a tsunami. It's very like very faded, and obviously that's the night before. So I guess that's what
Mhm.
influenced her dream. I did think
Yeah.
um it's funny because I called it a nightmare, but like the way she wakes up makes it seem like it was like the most peaceful dream ever. I was like, I wish I could wake up from my nightmares that
Right?
way. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think there were some things in it, like there were some White Lotus stuff in there which I thought was weird. Like it's like, what was I trying to say? And then
Mhm.
they kind of put a blanket over her before she walks into the tsunami. So like she's kind of shielded, but also
Yeah.
still going into this natural disaster.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I think again, like we've obviously speculated that there is something at worst unstable, at best like rehabilitated with her mental health. So
Mhm.
I'm intrigued to see where that kind of goes. But I do feel like the tsunami represents like the family strife that's coming this week. I think we know there's a financial thing
For sure.
coming up with Jason Isaac's character, but I also think there'll be some more interpersonal things that would happen with the family that will kind of be their quote unquote tsunami for the week. So I'm intrigued to see, like you said,
Mhm.
this dream, I think, definitely has a meaning. Even if dreams don't have meanings normally, usually a dream in a TV show will have meaning because that's how we write TV shows. So
Exactly.
I'm sure that it will mean something as the week goes on. I just have in my notes Pam because I just think she's great. I don't have much to say about her. I think it's also the accent. You really can't ever go
It's
wrong with
the
that accent.
accent.
But like
Oh, yeah.
the way she plays it, and like she's eager to please, but also just like also quite dubious of the whole family and like looking at, I don't know, it's just the way everything is just so funny from Pam. Um yeah, and I obviously I want to talk about the Jason Isaacs continuing unraveling, but I also found it interesting
Mhm.
how like Parker Pose's character seems wholly uninterested or rather unbothered with the work stuff. I'm trying to figure out why that is. I mean, she asked him later in the episode, is everything all right? But like for the whole episode, she's just kind of, I don't know if it's like she can't be asked about work anymore. I don't know. She just seemed very unbothered. I don't know. Did you catch that?
Yeah, she did seem unbothered. I did. It seems like she didn't care because he's acting very strange and,
Hmm.
like, he's, visibly anxious and nervous, and he's, like, zoning out and not even in the moment, like, not present with them, and Saxon keeps bringing up work, right? Like, he keeps saying, "People are looking for you," like, "People are calling, your phone's ringing,"
Hmm.
and she's not she's it doesn't seem like she's bothered. She couldn't care less about what is happening.
Hmm.
And I don't know, again, if that's because of the lorazepam that she's taken or if she genuinely just doesn't want to know
Yeah.
about his
Yeah,
work.
it's because it feels, yeah, I don't know, because like they show how look like when the kids are like, is everything all right at work, or like the calls keep coming at breakfast. She's looking at him, but she's just choosing
Mhm.
to not
Yeah.
make a comment, which is great. I was like, huh, okay, why is that? Again, I'm sure all of this will be colored in as we get to know more about their backstory. But it really jumped out at me this
Mhm.
episode. You mentioned the drugs that she takes. Um, Jason Isaac's character takes a couple this episode and maybe going
Yeah.
down the path of dependent, let's say, if not if not
Mhm.
addicted, dependent. And part of me was like, I was gonna be like, oh, so quick, that's so easy. But then I was like, you know what? No, as someone who doesn't sleep well, like when you find something that helps you sleep, like you jump on it, like it's not even a thing. So I could understand him just be
Mhm.
like, you know what, I need to sleep. I'm just gonna take it, and like, because you'd be like, oh, it's too quick to get addicted. I'm like, actually, no. I mean, I've done some things every night for like 2 weeks just because like it made me sleep well one night. So yeah, I don't know.
What things?
I started taking magnesium for a while. Just like
Oh, yeah, that's great. That
so.
works.
Even though like I don't even know, yeah, it's just I started taking it for a while, but then my friend who I was living with went for like a checkup, and they were like, "Hey, you're basically almost having magnesium poisoning," which I didn't know was a thing. So I was like, "Oh, okay,
Sorry?
yeah, yeah." They were like, "There's too
Wait,
much."
pause, no, stop. No, like, jokes aside, I take magnesium every night. What are you talking
I'm
about?
genu and like, I don't know if it's like her body weight to how much she was taking, but they were just like, "Hey, yeah, you're probably taking too much magnesium." Like, just because she literally came back from her checkup and was like, "Yeah, they said I should stop taking magnesium." So I was like, "Oh, okay, maybe I'll start taking it every day as well." But I think I don't know, it might be dosage. Because obviously people take magnesium every day. This is a weird magnesium tangent in White
Yeah.
Lotus. Welcome to Health Corner. Uh, yeah, so obviously people take it every day. But maybe I don't know. Maybe half dosage was too much. But I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'll reduce my own. But it's like these things, and then when you take what's the other one? I can't remember the name now. That
Melatonin?
helps you melatonin. Yeah, you take it once, it helps you sleep once, and then you're
Mhm.
just taking it every day. Even when it's clearly not working anymore, you're still taking it because you're like you're hoping that this is anyway. But my point is like I can fully see him just be like, it helped me sleep once. It looked like that sleep was incredible. Like he finally got to like sleep
Yeah.
after the flight. So anyway, yeah, I think if that's the path that we're going on, I have accepted that it's possible because it is. Sorry for a man like him. Um, which you mentioned that he also makes the whole family give away their phones because he doesn't
Yeah.
want Saxon to know about what's going on at work. And just another great and funny scene when he's like, he's trying to, one trying to negotiate with Saxon, and then when Pam's like, "Are you going to give me your phone as well?" And yeah, I don't know. I was like, I really found that whole thing very funny. Um, before we leave the Ratliff family, I want to just because I want to talk about Piper because she
Mhm.
mentions at the monastery that she's considering a year program at the temple. We didn't know this, did we? This is
Mhm.
like new information.
No.
Okay.
This is new information. I don't think anybody in her family knows.
No, yeah. So okay, that's definitely something that will um come up because we should mention, I haven't talked about it, but I haven't talked about it, but like the Buddhism of everything has come up several points in these first three episodes.
Mhm.
That was the first time when her mom was like she couldn't do something closer to her own religion, go to Canterbury and see the Archbishop there, or and then obviously Saxton in episode one as well was talking about how Buddhisms are people that don't like want stuff and things are going to be passive
Yeah.
to Lachlan, and then
Yeah.
I can't remember was this episode two where he was like her Buddhist mood swing or Buddhist something. I think it was episode when he was going and shouting about her getting everything. So basically, the family are not fans of the religion. So I think it would be quite interesting if she says she wants to stay there for a year. It makes me think of Sydney Sweeney's brother in season one.
One.
I
Yeah.
can't remember. I'm played by Fred Herchinger. Um, yeah, and he wanted to stay obviously in Hawaii after their trip and how that went down with the family. So yeah, I guess again, Piper is going to be our introductory point into the Buddhism of the story and the discussion of religion and all of that stuff. And we kind of discussed it last week with
Mhm.
Obiora, just the idea of her being a white woman coming to be in this space of Eastern religion and like what kind of white woman is she in terms of
Mhm.
accessing and utilizing the religion. So I think that would be she presents as someone who is aware, but again, we know that not everyone that presents like that is actually genuinely when push comes to shove.
Yeah.
Yeah, so um, she's doing her yoga poses. She's listening to the monk's book, all of that stuff. So she's clearly quote unquote
Yeah.
done the work, but it's like has she actually done the
Mhm.
work? Has she actually like studied what she needs to study? Um, yeah, I don't know. I think I just had a quick note that Lachlan's posture consultation really I didn't like that.
Yeah.
It was giving too much is this play about us for me. Like genuinely
Oh,
when
really?
yeah, because I have terrible posture. I've always had terrible posture. Genuinely when Lachlan oh you might not know this, but last week I was like, I'm gonna call him Lachlan. I can't call him Lucky. I can't bring up my mouth to say the word that I can't say that. But when he crosses his arms and the instructor is like
Yeah.
basically why your arms crossed. As I was watching, my arms
Yeah.
were crossed in the exact same way, and I was like, "Oh my god!" This is not. Can we leave this scene? When he's like, how long is this going to take? I was like, yes, please.
Uh,
Can we get out of here? Because I had to slouch and I had to cross my legs and I had to cross my arms and I had to defend myself in my feminine position.
in a feminine, yeah.
So
I thought that scene was funny.
it was funny, just a bit too close to home for me. Um,
Mm,
I want to discuss Kuhn, Monahan, Bib last, so we can do Rick and Chelsea
okay.
now. And
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
bulk of the storyline is that they go um Rick goes for another yoga session and he does meditation wrong. I think that's the best thing we can say. He doesn't do meditation the way he meant to do it because he leaves angrier than when he went in. He's angry about his dad, quote unquote, being murdered, and that sends him into weed.
Yeah.
And then him and Chelsea go to a snake show.
Mhm.
What did you think about this? Because this is the bulk of the storyline. So what do you think about the storyline? Because once they go into that snake show, it's literally a countdown to the most obvious thing happening. Like we
Yes.
knew that was going to happen.
Literally,
So,
we expected it. I saw it coming a mile away. I think I wanted to start, like, with the whole dad thing.
mhm,
I know I know we were, like, speculating that maybe, the guy like, the other guy
the
that is
owner,
in Bangkok
yeah.
is his dad, like, the owner is his dad, but I don't think so anymore.
Mhm.
I
So,
felt like maybe he had something to do with his dad actually dying. Maybe
yeah,
his dad is actually dead.
no, so that's the thing. Really agree with you because just full disclosure to the audience, we because of tech some logistical issues, we're recording 2 and 3 quite close together. So you won't have a chance to listen to
Mhm.
2, but Obiana kind of discussed that. I was like, I still fully think that he is like their connection is through family. But I agree with you that his dad is probably dead, and then it will be that this guy was involved in the murder somehow.
Mhm.
I find the use of the word
Yeah.
murder so interesting. I don't know why, but like I don't know if it's just because of the way he says it, but every time he says murder, it's striking. Like normally you just
Mhm.
say the person was killed, but I guess that might sound like an accident. But like murder obviously sounds very intentional. Murder is like something that was done like with intention. It's not a
Done
drive
to the
by.
dad. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a hit and run.
And I think
Sorry.
that's yeah, and I think that's where his anger is coming from, right?
Hmm.
He's angry that his dad was murdered. Like he's trying to get some sort of revenge or
Hmm.
vengeance or like make things right. And that's where the anger is coming from for sure for him. Um the snake show. Before we get to the
Well,
snake show,
yeah.
again, I'm just going to repeat it. I genuinely hate their relationship. It
you
it
don't
blows
you don't
my
see some
mind.
redeeming points. He was
No.
really worried.
Not even at the end of the episode.
Even
No.
when they kissed,
I
he didn't.
really don't. No.
Do you hate
No.
their
It
relationship
is
less? Because something else we mentioned last week was the juxtaposition with Greg, stroke Gary,
mhm,
and Chloe,
Gary.
and we mentioned
Yeah.
how. So, do you hate Rick and Chelsea more or less than Gary and Chloe?
That's a good question. I think I hate them both
No,
equally.
that seems like a cop out. You're cheating. you need to you need to pick one.
I I I hate it more. I hate it more because with
Really?
Gary slash Greg and Chloe,
Yeah.
there's like this level of I wouldn't say ignorance, more like he doesn't care. It's like he doesn't care about Chloe. With Rick and Chelsea, it's more like he goes out of his way to be mean
So okay, I
and
mean,
say
I
mean
think we
things.
can actually use this to talk about because we're going to talk about Greg and Chloe as well. So we can use this to go there. But like,
Yeah.
I mean, not that I do agree with you as a terrible boyfriend, but just for the sake of a podcast, so the episode is not 10 minutes long. Let's actually have a discussion about this. Um, I could argue that the situation is making things worse. Like he's possibly being confronted by the person, or what confront the person that killed his father, and he can't share that with her, or he doesn't want to share that with her. So that could be making things worse. I don't think he's the ideal boyfriend outside of this situation, but I think he's more palatable. I think there has to be like like, look, I think she's definitely involved. She got involved in him because of the money, definitely. But I still think there was at some
Yeah.
point something like he was at some point like loving, even if he didn't love her, but he was loving. He said the
Okay.
right things or enough right things for her to be like, okay, the money is worth it.
All right. I hear that. I
Yeah.
understand it. It's not an excuse.
Oh yeah. It's not an
He's
excuse. I'm
going
just throwing
he's yeah.
context.
No, he might be going through things, yes, was like it's probably very hard for him
Yeah.
about to confront all of that, and I don't doubt it, but it's just he's not kind to
Hmm.
Chelsea. He's mean. He's downright very mean to her. It's not needed. Like, I understand not wanting to tell her what's happening, but don't go out of your way to be specifically mean to her. Like at breakfast, what did he even say? They were talking because
She
she
can
watched
find.
him go talk to Sita Lau, however you say her name,
I can't believe you
and
even attempted it. There was no way I was ever going to try that. Well done to you.
he like he comes back and he's just like, I'm going to Bangkok tomorrow, and she's
Hmm.
like, okay. Am I coming? And he's like, no. But then he says something and
He
he's like,
says
no, it wouldn't work.
you can
Our
find.
signs are not compatible, right?
Well, I mean, I thought that was a great line because, like, she kind of threw his. Look. It's a well scripted line because she throws his star
It
sign at
no,
him and then she
the
throws
right
it back.
no, they're doing a good job, like, with the writing and
Hmm.
the acting as well. Cause I'm just like, "Oh, you're a douche. You're
Yeah.
kind of a
W-
dickhead. Not
What
kind
he,
of, you're a dick."
yeah, you are. What he does say in that scene, which is most to your point, is that he's like, oh, maybe you can find guy richer than me and mooch of him, right? So
Mhm.
that's like also.
Why would you say that?
I mean, we also don't know how long they've been doing this thing. This kind of
Yeah.
obviously, definitely the novelty has worn off. Look, I agree with you. I don't think he's a good boyfriend. Just even before we leave here and go to Greg, um, normal people are not murdered, right? So that's what I'm just wanting to say. Like normal people, like the word quote unquote murdered.
Uh-huh.
Like if you're murdered, you're either like doing nefarious things, or a good person that bad people are killing, or which other category would make you get murdered?
What about serial killers killing people?
There is that. There is that. Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't considering. My brain first went to like mob hits. I forgot. Like, is it is a serial killing?
That
Is
says
that
a
a murder?
lot.
Is a serial killer? Is a serial
It
killing a
is
murder?
murder. What would you consider serial killing?
I was just gonna call it a killing.
A killing?
Yeah.
That's murder though. You
Maybe I was.
planned to kill someone.
I've been watching the agency too much. Once you said murder, I go straight to like hired hits, mob hits. This is what happens when you spend 2 months watching the agency and the Jackal and Day of the Jackal. You're just like, yes, this is okay. You're right. Serial killing is possible. So I guess I didn't consider like this guy was a serial killer, but I guess you're okay. Serial killings will add that. Okay, so I guess normal
Mm,
people can be murdered.
no. Yeah, but like I do agree to your point. Like his dad must have been doing something to be
Yeah,
murdered.
because
Just
he
it's a
goes to
show, and
emphasize.
it just makes yeah.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, because
No,
he goes
no,
to
go
emphasize that
ahead.
his dad was no, he goes to emphasize that was a good person. I was like, you don't know that.
Mhm.
You just know what people told you because he was dead before you were born. Like you don't know that he was a good person, and obviously you want to believe that he
Exactly.
was a good person. But yeah, I think we will know more about it. Like, actually thinking. Speaking of Scott Glenn, is not someone that like admittedly I don't know much about him, but most of the roles I've seen in his later years, he's not a walkover. He's not a pushover. Like, I mean, he played Daredevil's mentor in Daredevil. Like, he's someone that can be hardened. Like, so he could essentially really have been a mob hitman if that was the case. But yeah, I'm
Mhm.
intrigued to kind of see where that goes. Maybe he'll be going to Bangkok next week. Um,
Next episode,
but
yeah.
speaking of next week, there should be, if this is going according to how we think it's going to go, there should be a board party next week hosted by Greg turned Gary and
Greg,
Chloe.
Gary.
This
Yep.
episode, we got our first references to Tanya via some exaggerated plot points from Chloe. Quite exaggerated. It's intriguing because I want to know where she got this story from. Like, is it Greg that told her this story, which I guess is possibly the case, because she doesn't know Tanya's name,
Mhm.
and
Yep.
not even in a way that, like, when Belinda brings it up, it doesn't strike a chord with her. So clearly, it's probably all from Greg's retelling of the story and everything. Um, I mentioned last week how we had discussed like what is Belinda's point in the story, and I don't think it's her entire point,
Yeah.
but I completely forgot with the fact that like she knew what Greg looked like, and that
Yeah.
interaction has to happen. I completely forgot about that. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, she goes to reach out and is like, "Are you Greg?" He's like, "Nah, I'm Gary." She's like, "Nah, you're kind of Greg," and he's like, "Nah, all white people look alike." She's like, "Yeah, but you're still kind of Greg." But yeah, and then well, she can't get out of her mind, even though he denies it. She's kind of like, "No, I think it's you," and she doesn't know Tanya is dead.
Mhm.
Right, from the way she
No.
discusses Tanya, she doesn't know Tanya is dead. So,
Mm-mm.
and again, why should she? So, I'm sure that will come up at some point. I you, I'm not saying he's the best actor on the show because that's the statement I'm not going to make, but I am saying that John Grice. I hope I don't know. I'm sorry. I should have researched that. Who plays Greg? Straight Gary has the
Mhm.
best silent death stare on the show and maybe on TV. Like he does it twice, and I'm just like, oh my god, this man is gonna kill
Yeah.
everybody. Like the first time is when Belinda is obviously looking at him and he catches her eyes, she moves away, but he stays on her. And again, this is a man
Mhm.
that we know plotted to kill his ex-wife. So like
His ex-wife,
we kind
yes.
of know that he can be nefarious, but like he stares so intense.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
the next time is to your point earlier, you were like, he doesn't care about Chloe. And I don't think he does, but like he seemed to really care about Chloe being with someone else. And
Yes, he
like the way
did.
the way he looks at her and the way he
Saxon,
looks at
Saxon,
Saxton,
Saxon. Mm-mm.
I was just like, oh, this man is evil. Just from that look, I was like, from those looks, sorry, I was like,
He
yeah, this man
gave
is.
he gave her a death stare so bad, like, when she turned back to look at him, she looked away immediately.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like, yeah,
It,
I really wanna see what happens with Greg stroke Gary this season, because
mhm.
I don't even think I've heard 100 words out of his mouth the entire like, the
uh,
first 3 episodes.
oh, this season, yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, this season.
he said a few things and then and that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's like I'm so intrigued. I mean, I guess again, if we're turning on TV writing brain, I think Mike White only brings him into the season to get his comeuppance. Like you killed Tanya, you killed one of the
Mm.
show's best characters, well, two-time Emmy winner, best character. So like, it's like okay, it's one thing for him to just get away with that, but if you're gonna bring him back,
Mhm.
then he can't get away with it again. Yeah, it's someone, and then
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Something's happening.
A part of Belinda's journey is to kind of get that kind of retribution. Which honestly, I don't even know, man. Like if I was Belinda, would I care? Like it's not like Tanya did me dirty, so but like would I
Yeah.
care that much to find a
I
person
just
that
had a
killed her?
thought.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a thought. So they're going on a boat
Yeah,
next week,
yeah.
and Tanya died on a boat. Like, my conspiracy theory brain
There's,
is moving.
I mean, I think it's
Activated.
inevitable. I think it's inevitable because last week Obiora had an excellent idea, which I thought was great, but I just don't think it's for this show. Because he was like, "What if this is actually no?" Because this episode invalidates that. But so again, if anyone ever doubts whether we watch ahead, there you go. But last week he was like, "Oh, what if this season is happening like the same time as the Italy season?" But
Yeah, I
then
think
I
so.
don't. Yeah, it's not even this episode invalidates it because she's like Tanya's already dead, and
Mhm.
last time she was like they'd be there for a year. But again, it's not up to it's not
Yeah.
beyond Greg to have a secret sex worker girlfriend in Thailand for a year, and then he comes to visit her. Like we clearly know this man. This man was in Italy for 2 days, and then he left Tanya. So, and but we're like, yeah, that's more of a like a Black Mirror twist than really a White Lotus
Mm.
twist. So it was like kind of. But again, to your point of like conspiracy theory brains have to start kicking once like well, it's when you have to when you're dealing with death, even for us, I don't like care that much about who's going to die or whatever. I think sometimes just your brain will just kind
Yeah.
of go into overdrive. But I am very intrigued to kind of see what happens at that boat party. I think most of the cast will be at that boat party. I think only the women, right, are not at the boat party, or rather have no reason to
The
be invited
friends?
so far. Yeah, it's the friends. I
Yeah.
think everyone else kind
Yeah,
of has been
not yet,
invited.
but you never know.
Yeah, I mean she's what
Maybe
they call
you'll
it. She's
get it.
famous, so anyone
Yeah,
could.
exactly.
We're gonna get to them, but one more thing before we get to them. So, Guy Tucker Mook, you you've been on this podcast talking about Bridgerton. You were here
Yeah.
earlier, was it last year, to talk about I'm Just a
Yeah,
Girl
it was last year.
movies. So,
Mhm.
for Guy Tucker Mook, this is me coming to you as a novice and you an intellectual. Is this what you guys would call a quote unquote slow burn? Is this a slow burn romance?
Huh. I don't know if it's reciprocated, so I wouldn't say it's a slow burn yet. He clearly has feelings for Mook,
So a
and
slow burn has to be both of you liking each other at the same time.
um,
Because if that's the case,
kind of,
why
yes.
are you guys being slow? Just if both of you like just go. I thought it was like waiting for the other person to catch up.
No.
So if both of you like each other, why are you being slow
No.
for?
Ah, people like to take their
Oh my
time,
god,
and, like,
time
life
is
happens.
there's no time like that. We can't. Oh gosh, I thought it was a case of like, oh, the guy like unrequited, and then not like in a creepy way, but like then
Yeah.
feelings start to grow from the other person. Okay,
Yeah, so it's not a slow burn, it's an unrequited
so
love, and you got it.
what's the trope when it's unrequited, but then it becomes requited? Just love.
It's usually like a he fell first, she fell harder, but I'm not going to lie, I don't see this
She's not
happening
falling harder.
for
She's not. She
Guy
might
Talker.
fall. She might fall, but she's not falling harder.
She
That's
might
not.
fall, but definitely not harder.
Yeah. Um.
Yeah, I thought Guy Talks like I thought he was very interesting to watch this episode following the robbery obviously.
Mhm.
But him starting the episode with like doing his prayers
Mhm.
and then talking to his boss about, oh, if she needs help, he can be a bodyguard. But I think he did that for two reasons. I think he did it so Mook can take him seriously.
Yeah.
And no, honestly, I feel like that's
Yeah.
the only
That's.
reason
I
he
was gonna be
did
like,
it.
what's the second reason? That's the only reason. he just,
That's the only
he
reason
did
he
like
did it.
because he doesn't care
So,
about. He doesn't care about like the quote unquote the money or the prestige of that job. He just
yeah.
did it because that's what Mook liked, and it's like, okay,
Yes.
now that I have a bit of an in, maybe I can use that to try and get. And like the fact that he runs to tell her straight away is like, yeah. And it's not even like the fact of like he's not waiting to get the job to tell her. He just wants her to know that like he's willing to do that, and like he's like
Mhm.
he kind of knows what she wants, and he's willing to.
Yeah.
Damn, I think I might write him into an incredible romantic lead. Um, he's he's willing to forego his own preferences for what she wants. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
those bodyguards are bullies, by
they
the
are.
way.
I mean, they
Sorry, I
are.
just had to get that off.
I
I
mean,
hate those
from the
guys. They
first
suck.
episode, I was I was like,
Yeah.
I have my money on you guys being the one to shoot the gun. I don't even know why, because that would be dumb, because it's your job. But like, I also kind of feel like they're involved in the robbery. Um, them
Yeah,
and Valentin,
I think so too.
the
Yes.
Russian energy masseuse, whatever his name is, or whatever his job title is. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, like we'll see. Kind of, I'm sure the Mook storyline will kind of grow. The Guy Tucker Mook storyline will
Mhm.
kind of grow a bit more. We'll see their yeah, what the end goal of this relationship is. Um, we are running on tight schedule, so should we just go to like the
Our ladies?
the best triangle, the best
Yes.
trio, Kuhn, Monahan, Babe.
Yes, yes,
Um,
yes.
so you're not here last week, and I think maybe I should start with that. You're not here last week, obviously, and
Yeah.
maybe let's start with this is out of the top. Let's start with what happens last week, because first week was them kind of ended with them bitching about Carrie Coon's character, and then the second
Yep.
episode starts with that, and then ends with them bitching about Jacqueline, Michelle Monaghan's character. So I guess
Yep.
why aren't women friendly to each other? That's my question.
Oh my god. Did you set that up just so you could ask me that?
Can I be honest with you?
I'm not
No.
answering that question
Originally I did not, but
because it's not
as
true.
I was going, I just like, oh, let me just ask the question. What? Look, you can't. Is it not true?
No,
Based on the
because on the
show,
first episode, that's how you asked me. Yeah, female friendships don't survive after a girl's trip. I'm not answering these
I mean, it's
questions.
not what
These are,
this. You're not.
these
It doesn't seem
are,
like you're brave. I think your role should be to defend your gender in light of these accusations.
I'm not even gonna acknowledge it. That's
S-
what I'm gonna do.
but we have to engage with the show, and the show is making these accusations, so you
Nothing
need to
to
defend.
defend.
So you're just gonna let
No,
so you're just gonna let the
no.
show. You're gonna let Mike White, a white man, make this statement about female friendships without saying
All
anything. Wow.
right, all right. I see you. You're using my trigger words. It's okay. I can fight back. It's fine. Say it them all you want. I think again, the reason why this is happening between these three again is they've not been friends for a long, long time. They are just
Or they've not been good
acquaintances at
friends.
this
Okay,
point.
yeah.
They've not been good friends for a long time. They've not been in each other's lives for a really long time. And you can tell by the type of things that they say about each other. They're like, oh, they're like surprised about it. If you
Like
guys
she
were
didn't get the
really close
job.
friends, you would, yeah, you would know.
Hmm.
Like, you would know these things. And so I think it's just a situation where these three women probably used to be best friends in high school,
Hmm.
but after that, they went to like different cities and they grew apart and they still keep in touch. They're still friendly. They're still like talk every once in a while, but they're just gossiping
Yeah.
about each other with each
Yeah.
other.
I like the point you just made about different cities because like this episode actually makes the good point to say that they're like at the three farthest possible places. Like one is in New York, one is in
Yeah.
California, one's in Texas. It's just like kind of they're
Yes.
really spread out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like last week we're like, okay, we're gonna see if they were gonna bitch about every single one, or if Leslie Bibb's character was just the quote unquote bad person who like, but it clearly
Mhm.
seems equal opportunity bitching. They're bitching about every single
Yep.
person. Which let's just go to the
Equal
dinner
opportunity, bitch.
because
Yeah.
I couldn't stop laughing during this dinner the first time I watched it.
Oh, it was so good.
Like the moment Trump came up, I was like, I know where this show is going, and I'm so ready for
It was
this.
so good. It was so good. Oh my gosh. And thinking about how it was shot before, I'm guessing it was shot before, recent
True,
developments in America.
it's actually it honestly might even be worse now because I think not that oh god, I'm not about to go here, but not that it's excusable, but like voting for him the second time is kind of like you look at your friend doubly weird, like, huh, okay,
Sideways.
okay.
Sideways. It was so uncomfortable and like it's so obvious she voted Trump. Like
Or from the jump, like
it's
he thought that.
not from the jump. Immediately they started talking
Oh, okay,
and
yeah.
they started talking about like Texas big churches and
Mm-hmm,
how
mm-hmm.
she gets so much from church and community. That's valid. But there's just something about that Bob and the way she was like, "Are we really going to talk about Trump right now?" That
Oh,
just let me know you
oh,
voted Trump.
that moment is like so. This is such great acting from all three of them. The reactions are incredible.
Yes.
Leslie Bibb,
Yep.
the way she squints and smiles for like that before she says that, are we like it's so like it's not I can't even call it Karen coded. It's just Karen. Like it's so well done. Like the squint. It's almost like do you know that
Yeah.
that meme from Game of Thrones final season of Daenerys? I think when she holds in Jon Snow's hand when she like squints and
Yeah.
smiles at yeah. I'll try and put it here for the YouTube people.
Yeah.
It's like you're just like, oh, you're like kind of like, are you sure you want to do that? It was so condescending. I was like, this is so good. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm a bit scared that Leslie Bibb has that just out of in her back pocket. But like, let's not go. She's just a great actor. Just leave it like that. Let's not go too far. But it's just so good. Michelle Monaghan looks like she's seen a dead body.
Yep.
Like out of
Like
context, her
she
reaction
could
does
have.
not fit into what she's hearing. Like
Yeah.
she's like,
You could tell.
and it's also kind of exaggerated, but it's also exaggerated in a way that like white people have exaggerated Trump's because again, not to make it about race, but they should make it about race. So allow it. Like
Mhm.
most of us, like we are shocked or we're sad, but like we kind of still like we're shocked, we're not surprised. If that makes sense. Like
Yeah,
when
it's, like,
yeah, it's
disappointed but
like
not surprised, like,
yeah, it was like you guys have
okay.
been doing weird shit like this before, but like white people are like, oh
Yeah.
my god, I can't believe Trump. I'm like, really? Like you don't even have a 5% chance to believe it. So she's almost like, oh my, like she just cannot believe what she's hearing, and it's just it's so
Yeah.
it's her face is
She's very
so good in
shocked.
this.
It's it's like she can't comprehend that her friend of many years would willingly go
Mm-hmm.
and vote Trump. She
Ah,
can't
it's
fathom it.
so funny, and then there's something that they do. They've been doing this since episode one, where I don't know if this cannot happen in real life because this guy is like they always give like side eyes to each other about the other person they're talking. I was like, because if it was me, I would notice
It does
when my
happen in
friends are
real life.
but would you notice when your
I feel
friends
like
are
it's I think it's not
exaggerated?
exaggerated, but, like, it's, like, yeah, a bit exaggerated for the show so you can see it,
See it? Okay, yeah.
but, yes, I do look at my friends when we're public, like,
When the other
"Okay,
person is
like, did
talking,
you
you're
hear
like,
what just came out of that person's mouth?" Yeah.
fair
Yeah,
enough. I mean,
all the time.
I think boys are a lot more. I don't know. We'll do it when the person is like backing us or something. I don't think I'll necessarily do
Oh,
it
no, no, no. You can
when
do
we're in a
it in front of
triangle.
them.
But then
Yeah, it works.
you know what? But yeah, no, I just thought this one was so great, so great, and then like,
It
well,
was.
actually, I was gonna say like the others, but no, she's the first person to hear the others talking about her because
You think so?
Jacqueline hears, but she doesn't hear what they're saying. Remember, and she chooses to like walk away. She hears them whisper, but she doesn't hear what they're saying.
And Lori sees them.
Yeah, but from what we know, she doesn't hear what they're saying.
Mm,
But in this scene, she definitely hears some of what they're saying. And
yeah.
like kind of so unless Laurie and Jacqueline are such good actors, as not the actors, but like the characters, because they are not
Mhm.
moving like people who heard their friends bitching about them the night before, if that makes sense. Like they're
There's
quite
a pretense.
yeah, yeah.
It's not it's they're acting like it didn't happen. Cause if you act like it did happen, that's confrontation. Remember, again, they're on a trip with each other
But
for
do you
how
think they
many
know that it
days?
happened?
That they were talking about the other party when they weren't there?
No. That's their
What do you
friends were
mean?
talking about them when we're not there. Like, do you think Jacqueline knows that
Yeah,
Laurie and Leslie B were talking about her? Do you think
yeah,
Laurie knows?
yes.
Okay. Is that just like a girl thing?
Why? Okay,
Because
yes,
uh,
it is.
no, because okay, let me actually contextualize this because Laurie
Yeah,
Laurie only sees them talking, right? She doesn't
okay.
know hear what they're saying. But you say that you
Mhm.
think she knows that they were talking about her.
I think she knows they were talking about her, for sure.
But why? Like, why would that be her assumption? She's obviously correct, but why would that be her assumption?
Um, if you like, if we take it back to episode 1 again, just going
Hmm.
back, like, remember how we talked about, Kate and Jack, like, being sort closer,
Yeah,
quote, unquote, and, like, talking
yeah.
to each other and, like, laughing, kikiing, catching up, all of that stuff. In my mind, if it was me, it makes logical sense that once I leave the room, they're gonna start talking about me.
But you see, I d but, like, why though? Why can't they just talk about, like,
It's
the
just I feel
movies?
like it's just the dynamic of their relationship right now, like, of the 3 of them, of their friendship at the
Mhm.
moment. Again, they've not seen each other for a while. They're hanging out with each other, they're talking about each other. If one person leaves the room, I genuinely think they're gonna know that they're talking about them behind their back, which is what they did.
No, I mean, it is obviously a correct assumption, just I'm just like,
And
I don't
maybe
know.
that says something about me as well. I
But
just
yeah, but, like,
I just know that
I
that's what would be happening.
but or maybe it says something about me because, like, maybe I'm the one that is choosing to, like because, like, the idea would come into my mind, but I would just quickly dismiss it, but that's maybe because I'm choosing to
Mm,
believe that that's not the case. So
yeah.
and unless I am given like a reason to like for example now, if I was Jacqueline in episode 2 and I heard people whispering after I left, I would definitely go and try and hear
Yeah.
what they were saying. How walking away was
Okay.
that was foreign to me. I was like, you are a stronger person than I. I just can't believe you did that. So, but anyway, now everybody has been bitched about. So
Each other, yeah.
ideally, we'll be on a level playing field, but I just think it just makes things worse. And I can't wait for like I'm intrigued
No.
because like there's obviously there I think there are two ways this storyline ends. I might be wrong, but there's the one
Mhm.
where they have that burst up and that blow up or whatever, or maybe they don't even have it, but like they just stop being friends after this trip. Or there's
Yeah.
a situation where like Alexander Daddario's character and Shane from season 1, they have the big burst up and everything, but then just go back to being like everything is normal. Do you get what I mean?
Mhm.
So like I'm
I
trying to
understand
see like
that.
do they continue as normal after this trip or is this the end of their friendship?
I see it that way as well. I think there's 2 things that are gonna happen. There's gonna be a big confrontation. They're gonna leave this trip. They're not friends anymore.
Mm.
Or they're all just going to act like nothing happened
Mhm. Yeah.
and just be go back to how their relationship was pre-trip.
I'd
But
seen
I'm
to each other
leaning
once
more
a year
towards to yeah, I'm leaning towards the confrontation.
and never speaking each
Like a
other
big
every year.
confrontation happening. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Okay. Uh Belinda, again, I think most of the most important things are with the Greg storyline, but she's kind of having. Okay, is this a slow burn? Belinda and the masseuse.
She laughed at him after she closed her door. I think she knows
Okay, so I
that he
thought
might
that was
like
just
her
her
or have
being.
a crush on her.
I thought I was her being oblivious because look at how
You
she
think
looks at
so?
him. Look how she looks at him when he comes for the massage,
Hmm.
and he's like, "How would you want me?" And she's clearly having ungodly thoughts, unless she just wants it for his body.
I don't know. If she did, she could have, like, cause at the end of the like, when he sees her to her room at night, he's like, "I hope you have good dreams of me, and I have good dreams of
Uh,
you." If she wanted
Yeah,
him for his body, she could have just let him in.
which is why I
She
think
didn't
he's
have to
is
do much work.
which I think she's oblivious. So what are you saying that she
I don't know,
doesn't
cause why
want him
would
at
she
all?
ask? Maybe she might want him, but, like, I don't know. I don't know. I still have to see it. Obviously, there's something there.
Hmm.
He does like her. I don't know if she likes him, though,
Fair. I mean, we'll see.
but there is something there.
Yeah, I would be like, yeah, I don't know. That scene before his massage would be out of place if she was not at least interested. But we'll see.
Mm.
Also, it seems
Or
like she's
maybe
had
she just
a
hasn't been touched in a minute.
yeah. Okay, so that's kind of what I mean by the obliviousness. Like it's kind of like what's the opposite of confirmation bias? Anyway, she just doesn't want to believe that that's the case because she's not mentally there. So she's like, that's not what he means. He's like, he's drunk. He's having a weird
Mm.
saying. Um, yeah. It seems like, look, time is running out, Belinda. Your son is coming in like 2 days. Like, unless you're gonna like kick him out of the room, you're running out of time. You have to make your
Chop,
decision
chop.
ASAP. Yeah. Um, okay, I think we've actually covered
Uh,
everybody, which is I didn't think we are actually gonna do, but I think we've covered every character. Um,
yeah.
yeah, and again, like we said,
Uh,
it's beyond.
do you think something
Yeah.
I just had a question. I was like,
Hmm.
do you think something is gonna happen with Chloe and Saxon?
Yeah, but I don't think
Yeah.
it's gonna be a romantic thing. Wait, actually, we should actually
No,
discuss
not
this.
romantic.
Do you think Chloe's a sex worker? Do you agree with Rick?
Her being a sex worker?
Yeah, because I just realized we've taken it for gospel, but like we've only heard Rick say it. He might be wrong
Maybe she was,
when
but I don't
when she met
when she
Gary
met Greg, yeah.
or Greg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay. So I think she's. I was gonna say she's trying to fraud him, like Saxon. That is.
Saxon?
Yeah. Like I don't think she likes Saxon. That's
Mm,
what I'm saying. I don't think she likes Saxon.
no,
So
no,
I think
not at
something
all.
will happen, but I think it's like she has nefarious motives.
Hmm.
Um, Also, I'm sorry, just before we leave here, I like how in episode 2, Paula Parton, Parker Pursley. Why was Paula Parton in my head? Parker Pursley is like all actresses are prostitutes. Then in this
Yeah.
episode, I think her daughter, going off what she said, her daughter is basically like all rich people are bad or something like that. And she's like, whoa, 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 let's not
Yeah.
generalize here. I was like, oh, now we're not generalizing when it has to do with rich people. But before, when it was actresses, we could just call all of them
Yeah.
prostitutes.
I'm trying to
Um,
see if I wrote it down.
or the line.
It's just like all rich people are, yeah, and I think she goes, "Just because they're rich does not mean they're not trashy."
Something like that. Yeah, okay, good. I think she's like,
Yeah.
I think which is a very actually which I've actually written that you're right, because like it's a very, very enlightening conversation. Because obviously
Yeah.
Saxton is like he's found someone with a boat and she's like, where did you find someone with a boat? I think she's like, are they good people or something? And then he's like, they are
Yeah.
rich. Of course they are good. Which is just says a lot
Yeah.
about a character in 6 words. Like you could write a character biography off that line alone. And then she's like, not all rich people are good. Again, I'm using the word good. I can't remember exactly what they said.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, so it's just kind of a good way to kind of show where each character kind of aligns with their own ideas. Okay, let's leave it there. I just quick disclosure, guys. A disclaimer: I'm not sure if we'll cover next week. If we can get the schedules aligned, we'll do that. But if not, we'll definitely be back for episode 5. Um, but yeah, guys, thank you very much for listening. Lade, thank you on this journey. I'm glad you're having a good time.
Kapkunka.
You are so brave. You are so. Do you know how many times I've tried to like? I'm like, am I going to do? I'm like, no, I can't even risk it. I mean, well done to you. I'm so happy that you're brave enough to try this new experience.
Oh,
Um,
man.
okay. Before I go, final question: yes or no? Do you agree with energy massaging or whatever the fuck he
Energy
called it?
healers?
Yeah, that thing.
No.
Okay.
He's so for
I was
real.
like, oh, I'm on Leslie Bibb's side. This is not gonna go well, and obviously it doesn't go well because she becomes a trumper. Um, okay, yeah. So we're both anti-energy healers. Okay, guys, thank you very much for listening. Join us next week, and I'll be joined by my own personal energy healer, Daniel Kaluya. Bye, guys.
Bye.